help. I think you could use mine.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Talking about Scotland Yard, Interpol, every Dutch authority. I can make them all go away.
Great. Now how do you plan on making poverty go away?
Join us at this pivotal moment in history to celebrate the transformative power of women in global society and seize the clear opportunity to make poverty history by empowering women and girls in the world.
In the early 1900s, women from around the world came together to champion the rights of women and to ensure equal opportunity for women worldwide. They raised their voices to proclaim a principle that we all now accept as universally true. The success and progress of free societies depends on the participation of all citizens, men and women. A century of progress has shown us that when you educate and empower women, you improve nearly every other aspect of society. As the great Egyptian poet Hafez Ibrahim said, when you educate a woman, you create a nation. Today, women are leaders in addressing some of the world's most pressing problems, from literacy and education to health and human freedom. And when you look around the world, you see that women are at the forefront of life-changing progress. Mothers in Africa are making great strides to combat HIV/AIDS and malaria. Afghan girls are back in school, and women are inspiring the dissident movements in Burma and Iran. Education is essential for women's empowerment. We know that literate, educated women are more engaged members of society. The impact of women is far-reaching, from their homes, through their communities, and in their countries. They teach their children. They talk to their neighbors and share stories with their sisters. They're more likely to participate in business and trade, which leads to greater economic development. Literacy enables women to ask questions, to understand their rights, and to participate in their governments.
My own experience has taught me that there's no limit to what women can do. The neglect of women's rights means lack of progress on gender equality, but also means that that enormous social and economic potential of half of the population is so underutilized. Women's rights are human rights.
The campaign to establish UN Women is a part of a larger international drive to promote gender equality, empower women, and demand an end to sexual violence. UN Women will help turn this global strategy into a worldwide reality.
Be part of history in the making. Empower women to change the world.
And by seeing poverty up close, one thing is clear. More often than not, the face of poverty is a woman. Did you know that of the 1.4 billion people living on just over $1 a day, 70% are women and girls? Women do 2/3 of the world's work, but earn only 10% of the income. Women produce half of the world's food, but own only 1% of its land. And of the almost 900 million adults worldwide who can't read or write, 2/3 are women. Simply put, women and girls are the poorest, most excluded group on the face of the earth.
As I often say, this isn't just the right thing to do, it is also the smart thing to do. Improving the lives of women improves the lives of their families, strengthens their communities, and does create more opportunities for economic growth and prosperity. We know that investing in women's employment, health, and education levels leads to greater economic growth across a broad spectrum. It also leads to healthier children and a better educated population overall. We know that political systems that are open to full participation by women produce more effective institutions and more representative governments. And we know that the work that so many of you do will be done day after day as it moves us closer and closer to realizing the vision of equality.
I am powerful. I am powerful.
It's a source of power the world can no longer afford to overlook.
Call and they will come. Each one of you who make up our small grassroots organization are world change agents. In fact, studies show that local grassroots efforts achieve more than the elaborate UN conferences that receive far more attention. It is more helpful to put time and effort into developing countries, listening to communities, and helping them educate their girls than to hold conventions or lobby for new laws. And that is exactly what we are doing. Because of you and our small grassroots organization called Kee Konnections, 5 years ago, in September 2007, we established with our in-country partner, Hope Enterprises, the first and only night school in Dessie, Ethiopia, with 120 students, 3 grade levels, and 3 teachers. 1 year later, in September 2008, the number of students grew to 248. I capped the number of students to 250 with 3 grade levels, 4 classes, 4 teachers, and a waiting list. 2 years later, in June 2010, Hope Night School celebrated its first graduating class. And in September 2011, Hope Night School added grades 4 and 5 and now employs 6 teachers.
Their work will and must continue so that every woman and girl someday will have the opportunity to live up to her own God-given potential.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to continue to be agents of change in the lives of the women of Ethiopia by empowering them with education and eventually changing the world.
Are you ready?